Yeah, man, that's a lot of potatoes. And man, does that feel good. I gotta get them covered. I started covering last night by shovel. I was just so worn out, tired, and hungry. I opted to finish today. I was afraid maybe squirrels or something would mess with them overnight, but you know, I've never had a problem with anything like that. Usually animals don't seem to care too much about potatoes unless you got them cooked up nice with some butter on them or something. So those crops are looking good, man. We're on the roll, on the roll. So they put gauges on machines for reasons. Oil gauges are a great one to keep an eye on. You can save a whole engine from damage doing that. I've saved many engines doing that. And I just saved the Ford 9N again from that. Going out to do this final bury here, and I take a look at the oil pressure, and the oil pressure is not registering. And it's not super high usually, but usually it'll show between 10 and 15 psi in the gauge. You know, it'll lift the gauge at least. So I let the machine warm up. I come out, I get ready to start throttling up and dropping the cutter in, and I'm not seeing any oil pressure. So I back off, I throttle up to see if the oil pressure comes up. It doesn't come up. So I shut down, I take a look, and on the dipstick, we're just touching the bottom of the dipstick. So I gotta go get some oil. She's burning a bit under that heavy workload. But I just want to make the point about taking care of your equipment. You should always be watching those gauges. They're not there just to stare at. They actually perform a function, and they can save you a lot of money. And it's a good thing I was watching this one, because I wasn't paying attention. I might have burned this tractor up, and then, man, would I be in a world of hell now, huh? Time to put them under soil. That's some appropriate timing. Just finishing covering potatoes. The rain's coming. Yeah, baby. Don't you know you can't stop it? You can't stop it. Nothing you can do will ever stop it. These turtle friends are everywhere. Shoot, just coming out, looking away. Cleared out another strip so I can come see with the cutter and the disc. Got some of the big trees out of the way. I'll expand another 1 or 2 runs next to that for now. And just some tree cleanup with the Massey, and I thought while I was going by this hole I'd take a little deeper scoop and just see a little further down the pit. And it looks like it goes into that hard clay and then down into that shale rock that you see exposed up on the ridge. So I guess if we have time to crack rock and extract oil, we're not gonna talk to that. Anyway, I gotta get some food, coffee, I'm starving. Well, there we go. Ended up being 3 full rows of potatoes, Kennebecks. And there was like another 10-foot row at the end with Dan's and a couple leftovers I had. The bed's all formed up. I gotta come back. There's a couple potatoes that popped out outside the bed former. It just didn't get pushed into soil quite as deep as they should be. So I'm gonna come back and do that. But I'll be back. I need coffee and food and other things to do. So I've been watching that forecast for the last week or so, trying to line up all the pieces to get potatoes planted. And it sounds simple, right? It sounds like you just go out there and you put potatoes in the ground. But it's never that simple. There's always some prep work to do and some planning. You got to figure out how much row space you actually need. And you got to go make all that row space available in soil you can plant into. If I were to just go out and try to plant into that hard ground before cutting it up with a machine, it'd be a long, long process and my yields wouldn't be that great. So it took me a lot longer than I would like it to. Granted, we're cutting new ground, so next year that'll go much faster. I'll be able to rip through that bed former in a few passes and have soil prepped and plant and be out. So that's exciting for next year. But for now, it was a long process. But as I said, as I began this clip, I've been watching that forecast and seeing rain in the forecast for today, tomorrow, later this week, and trying to get potatoes in time so that they could be in the ground and get a nice rainfall, because it's been pretty dry here for a couple weeks. I'm glad for the dryness. It's made working in the fields and working outside really nice. We've had some wonderful weather, but I would like some rain to set those in. And here comes the rain literally at the very moment. Like, I came home maybe an hour ago, and I've just been like trying to get things together and have a coffee break before I go back to CAD work. I think you can hear that little bit of thunder in the distance there. There's some thunderstorms coming across, and it's just starting to sprinkle. And actually, as I was finishing up the row forming after planting today, I just went back and formed up again with the row former to cover them up a little more, make sure they're covered. And as I was doing that, it started sprinkling, so that felt really good. It's like perfect timing. All right, just thought I would do a quick update on weather and that sort of stuff, and talk a little bit more about the details. I know I've kind of been racing lately and haven't talked much about the intimate details of farming, but very soon we'll be getting back to that now that we have growing plants to study, monitor, and discuss. Hope you found this interesting or informative. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. And remember, keep your friends close and your farmers closer. There we go. She opened up. That's the rain we needed, right on time. Can I play a field or what? Pouring now. Pouring.